We welcome you into the Devils post-game show here. Sam Kasan, Chico Resch going to take you through this one. 2-1 loss for the New Jersey Devils in this. Ryan Leonard got the games going at his 15th goal of the year, came in 9:36 of the first period. Duhaime and Trevor Van Riemsdyk the assists. And then really that was it until we had an empty net goal from Protas, his 23rd of the year from Dubois and Tom Wilson. That came at 18:17. Devils finally broke through, just a little too late. 19:17, Jesper Bratt, 17th of the year. Jack Hughes, they can't get anything going after that in the final 43. So the Washington Capitals skate away with a 2-1 victory. The Devils did put 32 shots on the board. Logan Thompson turned aside 31 of them. And for Jake Allen, he did his part. He did everything he could. Stopped 26 of 27 shots from Washington in this game.
Well, isn't it interesting? Both goalies gave up, one goal? Just one goal each. Jake and Thompson. But there was an empty net. And we will say that Luke Hughes kept his streak alive, his assist streak. He's the one who passed it over there to Jesper Bratt for that great shot. But, and when you looked at it, there were times you thought, oh, yeah, either Jack's going to score, this pass is going to result in something. But unfortunately, till the very end, last minute, nothing did.
And the funny thing is, coming into the game, we were talking about the Devils' offense.
Yeah,
and their power
isn't
play.
That the truth.
Averaging 4.11 goals per game in the last 9. Their power play was clicking at 42%, and then the power play goes 0 for 2. Granted, they did hit a crossbar from Dougie Hamilton, had some nice looks, but they only get one goal, and really a late goal, unfortunately, comes after the empty net goal. So the offense just kind of dried up, and maybe it was just, the law of averages finally catching up with them, or just didn't quite work out their way.
Yeah, and Sheldon was saying, I think it was today or yesterday to somebody, says, we've really been going hard, and the puck is starting kind of to cooperate with us. We're driving the net, we're getting goals. We're getting some of those breaks that we didn't get earlier when they were losing by scoring one goal or two at the most. And unfortunately for the Devils, it resurfaced again tonight.
And a quick look at our Primio Sausage out-of-town scoreboard. Primio Sausage, real Italian sausage, real Italian taste, the way sausage should be. Carolina Hurricanes, they come back and win this one. Alexander Nishkin, his 10th of the year, is the OT winner as they defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3 in Toronto. Colorado Avalanche currently with a 2-1 lead in Chicago, and that one, and scoreless still between Calgary and Florida. That one in Calgary. Later on in the docket, Anaheim will take on Utah in that contest. And this one, 2-1. Let's go through some of the highlights for you. And it all started in the opening period. It would be Leonard getting the only goal that mattered for about 58 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
And it came halfway through the first period and gave Washington a 1-0 lead. Hits up high off the glass into the zone. Devils can't get it out. They're a little tired here. A little trapped in their own zone. Here's a shot from between the circles. That one's blocked. Kept in. There's another shot from above, and the Capitals score.
Well, Dylan blocked the first shot, and then Leonard gets it back, and he fires it up over the glove of Jake Allen. And later he'll think, I'll do that again, but he never could. But unfortunately, bad break for Jake, bad break for the Devils. Good block by Dylan, and then went right to the Cap, who ripped it home.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you said, you talk about a game of bounces, a game of inches. That one bounces right to him and right in the scrum. It's, as I said, Leonard's 15th of the year. Duhaime and Van Riemsdyk getting the assist. Leonard becomes the first Washington rookie to score 15 since Ovechkin. He scored 52, but that was back in 05-06, so good for him. It comes in 9:36 of the period. We mentioned Jake Allen. He was a busy, busy man. As we said earlier, turned aside 26 of 27 opportunities, including this one against Dylan Strome. For the Capitals, shipped behind by Protas. It's now below the Devils' goal line. Dylan Strome takes it. He comes up. Big shot. And the glove saved by Jake Allen. So Jake, a busy man between the pipes for the Devils, trying to keep this one within reach, and he did so, including through the second and third period. As we enter into the third period, we're coming up with our Prudential play of the game. Prudential is the official provider, financial services partner of the New Jersey Devils. And we mentioned Leonard got the goal the first time. Well, this time he gets a similar look, but this time Jake Allen gets the glove on that one. It is taken by Connor McMichael. He tries to circle out of his own zone, coughs up the puck, but it's shipped ahead. And cutting towards the net, just can't get it to pull to the forehand was Sorndorf. He has it again now into the front of the slot, and a glove save by Jake Allen on Leonard.
You described it. Yeah, he thought, I'm getting my second right here, but no, Jake says, no, that's not going to work again against me. And it didn't.
And that was at 4:44 left in the third period. It was still just a 1-0 game at that juncture. So very much still within it. The Jake Allen save keeps the Devils in the game. Then Jake Allen heads to the bench with about 2 minutes left. And unfortunately, the Devils couldn't quite get some possession time in the offensive zone. The Caps work it out. They work it to Protas, and he works it into the empty net. Puck is in the corner. Players battling for it. And it comes to Dubois. Now there's an empty net. There's a high flip, and it will go in. The Capitals score. It is Protas. And that will make it 2-0. So,
and you know what? He flipped it from his side of center. I thought he flipped it a little bit too early, because if that doesn't go in the net, it's going to be icing, but it did go in the net.
Yeah, he flipped it. Well, you mentioned all the flips. They were just doing the flips out,
that's
flip
right.
out, flip out. And I guess it's a dangerous play if it doesn't go in. You got your icing, and you have to have a face-off. But for him, it goes in. You talk about the bounces going your way. It went his way on that one. For Protas, his 23rd of the year. Dubois and Wilson getting the lone assist. It came at 18-17. And then the Devils finally, maybe too little too late, but they finally break through the phantom goal, I'm going to call it. It would be Jesper Bratt getting the puck on his stick. He finds a way to sneak it in off the post, and the Devils do get on the board. Please ignore my miss on the goal call. It is a goal, and Bratt gets the tally. Over to Bratt. Bratt's high shot, and that one hits something and goes up.
Goal!
Is it in?
Yeah, the light's on at least.
And we've got a goal. Jesper Bratt finds a way to get it in.
But you're right, Sam. The crowd didn't know. There was no groan. The goalie, Thompson, sits there wondering, where's the puck? You know, and I don't even know that Jesper thought it was in. But then, obviously, the light came on, and the light came on for my brain, too. that puck's in the net.
Yeah, that was the tip-off. Yeah, even the way that everybody reacted. The Devils didn't react like it was a goal. Nobody cheered. Nobody scored. No arms raised. And it goes in. And I think it gets caught in the upper portion of the net, so it just disappears. So, yeah, so my bad on that one. I did miss that call there. It is Jesper's 17th of the year. Jack Hughes comes up with the lone assist. Comes at 19-17. It is our final score and the final play, really, of the game. The Devils had a couple no shots, but they did get some possession in the final waning seconds, unable to get it to go. So this one ends up a 2-1 final. Chico, any final thoughts before we tell us this is the final break?
No, not really. I mean, I think you summed it up. I'm a little bit surprised. I know Washington's always been a tough battle for the Devils. The first two games ended in a shootout or overtime, so I know it's close, but you're right. Their inability to get more pucks in the net after we set it up so nicely in the top of the show that they were on a scoring streak, right, Sammy? And then it just blows up on them tonight. And so I think that's my thought is what happened, but you can't describe missing open nets, whatever, guys flubbing their shots or goalies making some great saves. And I got to tell you, Logan Thompson, he was the first star of the game, and there was a reason for it. He was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. He was absolutely brilliant. I mean, a couple of his saves, the big save you think on Dawson Mercer.
Oh.
Mercer's got the wide open net, and he gets the pad on it. Or Jonas Siegenthaler, the pass in front to Siegenthaler, and Logan Thompson's on his belly.
Oh, yeah.
But still manages to make the save. Sometimes it's not always pretty, as you know, Chico. Sometimes as a goalie, it's not always pretty.
Nope.
But they don't ask you if it's pretty. They ask you if you made the save, and he did on all those opportunities. So we got more of the post-game show. We'll hopefully hear from some sound, some players in the locker room, some interviews, get some feedback from that as we carry on here. You're listening to the Devils Hockey Network. Welcome you back into the Devils post-game show. Again, Sam Kasan, Chico Resch here Chico Resch taking you through the post-game show. We're going to hear from Nico Hischier in 1 second. In this one, the Devils lose 2-1 to the Washington Capitals. Jesper Bratt, the lone goal for the Devils. Ryan Leonard, Alexander Protas getting the goals for Washington. So, as I mentioned, we'll hear from Nico Hischier. So, let's hear from Nico Hischier. Here is the Devils captain talking about the loss.
Nico, you guys really had a push there in the third period, but does it sometimes kind of feel too little too late?
Yeah, and we just didn't score. today, and that was the difference. If we score a couple of goals, we'll win that game. I think we had enough good chances.
And then, you talk about that, but just the performance that Jake had behind you guys, and just, what do you feel for him, I'm sure, to not have that support?
I mean, I feel bad for him. Like, he gave everything he had, and I think we got to make sure that we get that win for him. And played an unbelievable game. Even the third kept us in the game with those big saves, and we just couldn't score, and we got to be better for him. What,
with the way the Capitals play, make them so hard to sort of break down and generate those chances?
Yeah, they're a well-structured team, offensively and defensively. But like I said, we break through a couple of times, and we had great looks, and it's just that last bit that is missing.
How about your 2 power play chances? Do you feel like you had some chances on there too as well?
Yeah, I think we moved the puck very well around, and we had some good looks there too, and one went right off the crossbars as well, and that could have gone in too.
A game of inches, the puck does go off the crossbar. Just Nico Hischier said it's just not quite good enough.
No, and whatever that means, I hear that a lot. Not quite good enough. We got to be better. What does it exactly mean? The other thing is that he could have said, I have not seen a team chip pucks out of their end better than Washington did tonight when they were under pressure. Not all the time, because the Devils did have, I would say, Sammy, they had at least 10 good chances. I would say at least 8, 9 out of 10s. But just the one goal late, and a team that does that is not going to win.
Yeah, unfortunately, the man who was near perfect was Jake Allen. As we mentioned, stopped 26 of 27 shots, only gave up 1 goal, unfortunately, ends up being the difference in the game. We spoke with him in the locker room. Here's what he had to say following the loss.
Jake, I mean, you did everything you could there, but on some nights, the goal supporters didn't share. What did you sort of see in front of you from the group here?
Yeah, I thought we had a push there in the third. We had some looks. But they're a really good team in the D zone and the O zone. They have a really good hockey team over here, and made it tough on us to get in tight in front of the net and get some good looks. But when we did, Thompson made some great saves. So, he's one of the best goalies in the league, and we knew we were going to have our work cut out for us. They're really good in this building. We knew that coming in, and we were right there, 1 shot away, but still just a little bit behind.
Just a real tight checking game at both ends, you feel like?
Yeah, they play. They're a heavy physical team. That Dubois line is a lot to handle in the D zone. Spend a lot of time in the O zone. Very simple hockey, but very effective. And we had a chance to win. We were right there. We were 1 shot away until the empty netter, and we still gave ourselves a push there at the end, but just a little too late.
When you talk about that push, how frustrating can that be as a group to sort of see it come to fruition in the third and not soon enough? Yeah,
we're playing against a really good team here that is really structured, so it's really hard to break them down. When you do break them down, you can look, but that work is hard to break them down. It's really hard work, and that was tough for us tonight. But ultimately, we've been playing some good hockey, so I think guys should keep their heads high. We have some momentum here. It's a close game against a divisional rival, and it's nice now to have a couple days off to regroup and then hit the road again. So we're heading in the right direction.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah.
So Jake Allen making his comments there. Again, hard to really fault him for this one. He did everything he could to keep the Devils in this one and try to get the win.
Oh, absolutely, he was good, and we can talk about chances you get, but he didn't say it. Nico didn't say it. I will say it, Sam, because it has to be said. You need to shoot the puck high accurately against most goalies in today's hockey, because everybody's a butterfly. Everybody's 6'4". Where did the 2 goals go that were shot in? One over the glove of Jake Allen, the other one over the shoulder of Logan Thompson. Under pressure, you got to get the puck up, and some of the greatest saves tonight either was stopped because they were low, or they hit the crossbar, which are high, so I give him credit for that. But in between, nothing got by Thompson.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the difference really in the game, that weren't able to get by Thompson. We're going to hear shortly from Devils coach Sheldon Keefe. Obviously, curious to hear his comments in this one. But so we do have Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, so let's hear what he has to say following this 2-1 loss to Washington.
Another game where you're only able to get 1 goal. Now, is that a product of you guys not finding your game? Or I thought the third period was really good. It's just you run into a hot goaltender, not make it an easy excuse, but both goaltenders were great.
Well, I thought we had a really strong push in the third period, no question. A lot of scoring opportunities, clean looks at the net, and some scrambles and rebounds and things of that nature that we didn't come by in the first and second, but real good push there in the third for sure. I thought first and second, it's a different type of game than we've been playing here. Like this Washington team was. They were above the puck the entire game, clogging the neutral zone, making it hard on the entries. They defended the middle of the ice really hard and well. So it was harder to get to the inside. It's a different type of game, in terms of trying to create offense. It's got to be ugly, and it took us a while to really find our way through that. And when we did break free on the rush, we had a breakaway. We had 2 2-on-1s, a 3-on-1. We just didn't execute quite well enough to get it over the line.
Something Sal and I have been talking about so far here in the post is the fact that this really was a goaltender battle all the way to the end. What can you just say about Jake's performance? He hasn't been getting a lot of consistent starting time, but the fact that he kept it a 1-0 game up until 2 minutes left.
Yeah, he gave us a chance all the way through. I mean, the push we have in the third, I think, is on the backs of him keeping us in the game and giving us the hope that we're right there. He was outstanding in all 3 periods. It's another tough game for him in the sense that we don't get the goals to support him, but it was an outstanding effort by him.
You mentioned it a little bit before, but what was the biggest difference you saw from your group in breaking down maybe the structure of the Caps in that third period to allow yourself that a little more freedom?
Well, I thought we had a little more pace to our game. They're going the third period with a lead. They maybe lighten up just a little bit, which is all the opening that you need to kind of get on the front foot a bit. We knew this team at 5-on-5 was going to be difficult. I mean, you look at it coming into the game, it's the number 1 team in the league in creating offense in the offensive zone, and we certainly felt that. They're just big and strong and really hard to manage in the offensive zone. And then in the defensive zone, they're in the top 3 of what they give up. It's not a lot, so it's going to be a tough game at 5-on-5. You look at the plus minus of all their players. I mean, they're a positive team in even strength. They lose games on special teams. Our power play wasn't able to get one for us today, and we had a couple good looks. Dougie's ripped one off the crossbar, and we had some looks, but our power play had to be able to make a difference for us today. It was unable to do so. You knew it was going to be a difficult game at 5-on-5, and it certainly was.
You guys have been playing pretty well. Is this an easy game to move? Obviously, you're trying to win every game. This is a game you can kind of put behind you quickly and move on to the next one.
Yeah, and we don't have much choice but to do that. Like I said, I thought it was a hard-fought game. There's no easy ice out there. I thought our guys played hard. Washington certainly played hard, made it difficult on us, but I thought the fact that we continued to dig in and push in the third period, really good sign. That hasn't been the case for us in a lot of the season, to have a push like that. So it's a good sign. So you just build off of that and move on to the next one.
Thanks, Sheldon.
That was Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe summarizing kind of a lot of what we were saying. They got some looks, just couldn't get those second opportunities, or when they did have some 2-on-1 rushes, just couldn't connect, and that was pretty much the summary of this one. Chico, any final thoughts before we ship out?
No, you're right. He's right. I mean, yeah, they're good and we're good, and so you're not going to get 15 scoring chances. But I'll say the Devils got 10, right? They did. I mean, it wasn't like just a total shutdown by Washington. But the Devils didn't score a goal until they had 6-on-5. I know this whole season, people say, what's wrong with the Devils? What's wrong with the Devils? They just can't seem to get the puck in the net when it's really needed. And tonight was another example of that, Sammy. And so you're not going to win consistently if you don't score.
Well, you're right about that.
Yeah.
The Devils have been, and tonight they didn't. So, yeah. Well, with that note, you've been listening to the Devils Hockey Network, production of the New Jersey Devils. Don't forget, download the official Devils app, as well as devils.com/app to access your tickets and stay up to date on all New Jersey Devils and Prudential Center events and content. Tune in Tuesday, March 24th, when the Devils take on the Dallas Stars at 8 p.m. Our pregame show will begin at 7:50 on the Devils Hockey Network.